Hi, and welcome to Libby Presents Ghost News Network. Today is our question of the week. And our question is, what is the craziest personal experience you've had?
Jesus Christ.
Should you guys go last? So it's
Yeah, well, I've got the
spoil
least,
it?
I'm the earliest, so I might have the easiest.
I have 16 and a half years to think about, so.
Yeah, well, I'll go first since I've got the least experience, but the craziest experience I've had was I went to visit my friend Brandon, who is part of the group, and I went to visit him in his Florida house. He had just recently moved there, and he's always telling stories about his house, and he used to have a whole setup where he did a light switch thing where he couldn't be in the dark at all because his house is really messed up.
Right.
So I went there, and usually the way me and Brandon have sleepovers is Brandon can't sleep without the TV on, like a lot of people.
Yep.
So, but I can't sleep with the TV on. I need it off.
Right.
So usually what we end up doing is he'll go to sleep, I'll realize he's asleep, and then I'll shut the TV off. So he's sleeping on the bed, I'm kind of on the floor next to the bed, and I'm just watching TV, and all of a sudden his door kind of creaks open. I'm like, that's interesting.
Right.
I don't think much of it, but I keep watching my TV,
Yeah.
and then a couple seconds later, all of a sudden his bed just poofs in like somebody sat down and started watching TV with me. I turn up and look at him, and I can see the indent of where the bed kind of goes like that. And then I actually, because I'm sitting there staring like what's going on, Brandon actually ended up waking up, so I'm just looking at him while he's looking at me. And then as soon as Brandon like wakes up, the indent goes back flat. And that was the craziest experience, one of the craziest experiences. I was only at that house for like 3 days, and I had so many experiences in that house. That house was, I would love to investigate Brandon's old house.
Great. What town was it in Florida, do you remember?
No, it was, you'd have to ask Brandon. It was somewhere by the Orlando area, I think.
Okay.
Maybe a little north of it,
Okay.
somewhere around there.
Interesting.
So,
Wow.
but-
Alright.
We got time.
so probably the most startling thing that's happening so far has been while I was in the group. It was when we were doing an investigation at my museum, the Rogers Mansion in Southampton, and it was after we had all the guests there. I think it was one night where we actually weren't even going to stay late. We were wrapping up early because I think we had like a really busy week.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so we had pretty much cleaned up everything, and there was only a few bits of the wires left for the DVR system. And so everyone was in the kitchen hanging out, and I was just by myself going through, wrapping up all the wires and turning off the rest of the lights in the house. And I was crouched down picking up some of the tape where I had sort of put all the wires together in this one corner. And so I'm crouched down. Everyone's on the other side of the house, multiple doors shut between where I was and where they were. And I hear someone very loudly in my ear just go, "Hey, Connor." And I like fell over because I was like hunched over kind of weird, and I just like stumbled and was like, "What the fuck?" And ran back to the kitchen, made sure everyone was in there, and then I made Brandon also follow me throughout the rest of the house while I clean everything up, because I was like, I'm not trying to deal with this right now. We just finished the investigation. I just want to go home.
Yeah.
I have to come back here tomorrow because this is where I work. But at least they were nice, so
Yeah.
that's good.
Good. You're up.
Well, as we all know, I don't have a lot of things that happen. I don't know why. I can't say. But out of the things that have happened, yes, I saw a horse.
Where was that?
That was at Lake George.
That was in Lake George.
And that side where the bench was.
Yeah,
Before
that was the
George.
first time on the bench. That
Yeah.
was the first trip that we did the bench.
Yeah.
Did you clarify, ghost horse, right?
Ghost horse.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. No rider, just the horse. That's it. No saddle, no nothing, just a horse. That or just like you said, the name thing. It's always that's pretty strange. I mean, like Rocco. That's not really a common name. I wasn't even there. I'd never been to this house. and nobody was in the room. It was an audio that was just left in the room, stationary. Rocco, just like that. And so yeah, and no relation to it at all, but something still said my name for fun. So yeah, that was good.
I know for me, the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me, and I've been on cases and I've seen weird things, but it's the personal stuff that tends to get me the most. And it was my youngest son was born, Dean, and we had the huge storm a couple years ago, the snowstorm, and they were supposed to release us that day, and they didn't. So my wife had to stay in the hospital for an extra day. So I decided to drive home in whiteout conditions and shovel so that I had a place for my wife to bring. She had a C-section. We have a brand new baby and can't have a slippery 2-foot snow pile in front of the driveway, so she can't get in. So I drove home. I shoveled the whole driveway by myself. My 2 older boys were staying at my folks' house that night. Nobody else was home. And so I decided to go to sleep. It was really late. I was just dead inside. And I remember waking up and hearing my bedroom door open. And like all of a sudden it was just this fear that took over me. It was like, whatever you do, do not look up. Do not look at whatever's here, do not look at it, do not look at it. And I hear the footsteps coming around, and just like you were saying, James, I literally felt my bed depressed, like somebody sat next to me, and I literally was like sleeping like this, because I sleep on my stomach, and I moved my head like that, because that's just what my body was telling me to do, my natural reaction. And I just hear this voice whisper to me, and it says, I can take care of that for you if you want. Just like that, just open-ended, nothing, just, it really creeped me out, and I just said out loud, I was like, nah, I got it. And all of a sudden I felt the bed depressed back up, and I hear the footsteps go across the room, and I pop my head up and look towards the door, and I see my bedroom door swing closed. And I just was not going back to bed after that. That was like, I wasn't half awake, half asleep. I wasn't, like it was weird. I heard the door creak and I was up like that, like on a pin. And it was around the time we were researching and setting up the gin department. And lo and behold, this happens as we're poking our nose probably where it doesn't belong, and which we seem to do a lot. And so that happened, and that probably creeped me out more than anything. It's just anything that involves me, my wife, or my kids. That's kind of where I get the most freaked out or defensive or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, mine, God, I had a lot of experiences over the years. One that really stands out was when we were doing our day trip at Mount Misery Site 3. This is during the daytime. It's not like in the early morning. It's not like, at dusk. This is like midday.
Yeah. It had to be like
sun's out.
1 o'clock.
We're walking on the main pathway. We're actually leaving the area. We're on the main pathway, and I would say about a good, had to be maybe 30, 40 yards ahead of us, I would say. And I'm looking up and I see this. It's a figure. Not too tall, probably about my height, 5'11", but it was a greenish translucent. And it literally walked from the one side of the pathway to the other. We were walking this way. And as it got to the middle, like I looked up, it kind of like looked, like as it walked, it looked over at me and just kept walking. And all of a sudden, I almost blacked out. Like it got all like when you're about to black out, like you can't see nothing. And I was like, whoa! And that's when you didn't see it, but
at the same time, because we were mapping out the area, so I was looking down, making all my notes and shit like that. And I remember walking, and it had to have been the same time you did.
Yeah.
It literally felt like I walked into a wall.
Yeah.
Like I just walked into a wall. I stopped short, and I was just like, I can't see.
I can't say. Like we almost passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
And I got
so crazy.
dizzy. It was
Yep.
weird. It was
and,
weird.
It cleared, and then like
I don't think it took that long. Maybe like
no,
15,
it
20
was-
seconds
It
max.
was so
max.
quick. It happened so quick, and then like when I like gained focus, it was gone. And I was like, what the hell was that? You know, and whatever it was, I mean, I don't think it was an apparition. You know,
Aliens.
I don't know. It wasn't an apparition, no, but whatever it was can have that type of effect on us. That's what freaked me out even more.
Right.
Because we weren't even close.
No.
We were in a decent amount of distance between it. And then when we walked up to the area where I saw it, I was just like, this is where it was. We looked for footprints. We looked around.
There was nothing.
There's nothing there. So.
We spent a good amount of time looking around there too.
Yeah, I don't know. It was wild. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. And that was just that. Even during the daytime, like if it happened at night, it would probably been a lot worse. But the fact that it was just
Lunchtime.
literally like midday, like what? You know, so, kind of threw me off. But
Yeah, that was
yeah, that's it.
Yep. What do you guys think? What is your creepiest paranormal experience? Let us know in the comments section below. If you haven't yet, you can give this video a like, share, and subscribe. You can also click the little notification bell to know when all of our content is being uploaded to YouTube. So thank you guys very much for joining us on this latest edition of Ghost News Network. And until next time, take care, guys.
Good night.